power.
You want to get – well, let's do Michigan State. But why don't we just do it? Let's get into the Bryce Underwood thing because, boy, I feel like we got to do all these qualifiers and PSAs. I'm letting Bryce Underwood write his own story. Now, that means when you play nobody, I'm not going to really take stock in it. And when you go on the road and you largely fall on your face, I'm also not going to rip him. I'm not. But what I'm not going to do is what I'm already seeing some of these propagandists do in the national media. I'm not going to glaze him either. We're not going to sit here and talk about how he's the best player on the field for Michigan. No, he wasn't. And in fact, the game plan was suggestive of a coaching staff that doesn't feel like he's ready to play. Now, you can go down that road of, well, then why'd you pay him $15 million? Because you have to. Because if you can get the number one recruit in the class and a guy that a lot of people think very highly of, you get him. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the problem. When you get that player, I think part of what you should do is sit the player. Okay. So we're not going to do that. Well, then the next thing you're going to do is you probably got to throw him into the fire. Why? Because every struggle today will be progress tomorrow.
Exactly.
Now, if Sherrone and company are going to run that happy horse bleep where it's run, run, pass, run, run, pass, run, run, pass, well, the other problem for Bryce is he's not advanced enough in a known passing down, and he's not accurate enough right now because everything's a rocket. And it's largely high. Mm-hmm. And, oh, by the way, you got to use his legs. Yeah. You got to look, the whole question I would have, and I'm asking you and I would ask the people, how do you want this handled? For me, I told you from day one, I'm not doing narrative crap. Once he's here, he's here. I don't care if he was number one player on planet Earth. What do you do when you're here? Can they still have a nice season? Yeah. But that game plan suggested to me he's not ready. Mm-hmm. Now, the immediate thing is to what? Attack the coaching staff. Okay. But you have to be willing to lose games. That if you unleash Bryce Underwood, you take the bad with the good and vice versa.
Yes.
So I want to know what Michigan fans want, but what I can't do, what I will not do is this, well, he's still incredible. There's nothing incredible about 9 for 24 for 140 yards. In a game, you got drilled.
No.
Final score did not indicate how bad that game was. So I'm asking you, I'm asking the fans, I'm asking David.
Mike, you know what? You stole the words out of my mouth. For Michigan fans, you got to pick your poison. Either you let Bryce cook and go out there and make mistakes and be young and do dumb things and do smart things.
Be better for it next year.
And he's going to win you some games and you're going to be like, wow, he looks great. He's going to lose you some games. You're going to be like, oh, my God, I can't believe he threw that pick or he fumbled the ball or he missed that wide open receiver. Yes, that's problematic. But that comes with you could end up at 5-7, 6-6, 7-5. You won't be in the playoff chase, and you're going to have a mediocre season. But as you said, it sets you up for next year because now the training wheels are off. He learned. The offense right now, are they holding him back? Absolutely they are. Sherrone Moore said so. He knows, I don't have a backup QB. If Bryce gets hurt, we're back to square one.
But isn't that on Sherrone in this program?
It is. No, it is. But as far as Bryce right now, you're not helping this kid develop. You're not helping him grow by just letting him throw on third down because the reason why his throws are high, Mike, the one thing I've learned in following so many football, high throws, that's adrenaline. That's just, you're so excited. When you're throwing it low, you're tired. When you're skipping the ball down there, unless you're Alex Orji, that means that, you know what? You're tired and your arm's just not strong enough. You let Bryce go out there. He's going to make mistakes. And look, there's so many examples of quarterbacks in that very first year because you paid him, you got to play him. Should he sit? Absolutely. But then you're kind of wasting your money and you're crossing your fingers he doesn't transfer next year. So since we're paying him, we might as well see what he has. You look at Dylan Raiola from Nebraska. He came in, highly rated quarterback. Nebraska paid a ton of money for the kid, and they started him from day one. And you know what he looked like? A freshman. And he made some awful plays, and he did some dumb things. And I'm not even talking about trying to be Patrick Mahomes illegitimate kid.
That's just weird.
That is. But he got better. You look at a lot of players. Aiden Childs up the road last year. Hey, Michigan fans, remember when you used to make fun of Aiden Childs and laugh and yuck it up and be like, look at Aiden Childs. Well, that's what you're going to have with Bryce. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to fumble the ball. He's going to miss wide open receivers.
And he's going to throw a laser beam and look like he should play on Sundays.
And then
welcome to young quarterback play.
Yeah, and then he'll do something you're going to be like, wow. Now I see why they paid him all that money. But it's a combo meal. You don't get to pick and choose what you want. So you're going to have to accept the losses, but he's going to be better for you next year.
Yeah, and look, I'll throw the number. I really do want to know what, because I think talking to a couple of Wolverine friends of mine, there was almost like a general surprise that he didn't look great. And I said, well, maybe next time, think that the media is feeding you garbage. Like when people go out and they're just like, he's the greatest player to ever play the sport in Everdom, maybe you should probably cross-reference that and go, you know what? Power it down.
Yeah.
Anyone with a brain knew he was going to go to Oklahoma, struggle, and probably get pancaked. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not reinventing the wheel. So all I would advise is, all week leading up to that game, you had media lying to you. No one with a brain, much less the people who played this sport, thought that kid at 18 years old was going to go into Norman, Oklahoma at night in a must-win game for Brent Venables and show out.
Yeah.
No one. So the next time he has a good game, like this weekend when he beats up on St. Leo's Monastery.
Central Michigan.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Because here's the thing. If you sit, like the best thing that ever happened, and David, I'll let you can take it to 6 if you want.
Yeah, I like that plan.
You look at a guy like Dante Moore. Came in. He went to UCLA. They paid him money.
He was awful.
He threw more pick sixes than he did touchdowns. Then he goes to Oregon, and he sits for a year. And now you got a guy who could possibly be sitting in New York for the Heisman Trophy. Now, I'm not going to say he's going to win it, but he actually looks like he knows what he's doing. Why?
He's a third-year quarterback, brother.
He suffered. He went through the pain. He went through all of the stuff, and he's better for it on the other end.
I just don't understand why Michigan didn't, when you have the level of money they have to pay for Bryce, then why not just go and pay for a Carson Beck?
See, I think they did when they went and brought the Fresno State quarterback in.
Mikey Keene?
But he got hurt.
Mikey Keene sucks.
Which leads me to what I wanted to say. Because
you're pointing your finger and I don't like it.
You are talking, Mike, you were talking about the media lying to us about Bryce. They've been lying to us, and Sherrone Moore has been lying to us since August 25th, when the news came out that Bryce Underwood, quote unquote, won the job. He didn't win the job because Mikey Keene was supposed to be his competition in camp, but he was never healthy to be his competition. And Bryce was always going to have the job over Jaden Davis. So what happens is now they're forced to start him, and instead of actually letting him play, they're afraid to let him do the things and make mistakes. Let him make the mistakes.
Well, David, because I'm sorry, I think he was going to be Bryce was going to start week 5.
Eventually, yes.
After the bye, I think Mikey Keene was going to take them these first 4 games. They go into a bye week, and then after the Nebraska game, that was going to be Bryce's first game.
But they can't protect him. Just let him play.
Well, hold on. So I'm kind of with you in this regard, David. You've made your bed. You got to lie in it. If I'm a Michigan fan, I am more than willing I don't want to use a term like throw the season away.
No, but that's what you're pretty much doing.
I'm all about next year knowing Bryce Underwood is ready to be a Heisman contender. He's ready to lead us to the playoff. He is ready to look like a first-round pick. There is no predictive measure with quarterbacks. Right. This is my problem is I'm very jaded. No, I'm cynical because I've heard it all before from so many other schools. Look what we're dealing with Arch Manning right now. He's not that good.
I understand. But you are essentially throwing your season away.
By letting him play?
By letting him play because you're not going to win some games that you pound your chest about. You may not beat Ohio State. You may not beat Nebraska. You may not beat Michigan State. But he's going to get better.
My point is, to David's point, last night with J.J. McCarthy, and I know the NFL is different, but hear me on this. Kevin O'Connell did what Sherrone did in the first half of that game last night. And it wasn't doing J.J., it was doing him a disservice. The question would be, isn't it better to find out? And not against CMU or a New Mexico team that shouldn't be Division I. No, let's find out. Let's let him play. And part of this has to be use his legs. Let this kid be the physical specimen that he is. So I want to know from fans what they want.
But the thing about that, Mike, is when you do that, sometimes it's why you don't see players get rushed up to the major leagues too quickly, because if they're bad, it destroys their psyche. And now you got to worry about the mental as well as the physical.
Dude, bottom line, that's why you should have gone to LSU and sat behind Nussmeier for a year.
Okay? You know what?
I said it.
You win.
And if Michigan was going to pay him $15 million, then you had $17 million for a senior quarterback to play this year and go, Bryce, we're going to get you drafted number 1 overall. You're going to win a national championship, and we're paying you $15 million. Learn from this guy. He's 4 years older than you. That's it. It would have been better for Bryce. He gets paid, family gets paid, and it helps his development. I didn't do this. So he's here now. I got to play him.
Yes.
Which means play him, to David's point. All right, I know we're over time.